Here we are again, Converge collectors. So we have numbers plus 17. So plus is a line of Converges. They're a little bit bigger and or better than the standard lines. As they cost more, the box is a little bit bigger. They don't date the products, unfortunately. So this either came out in 2024 or late 2023. Here's some stats on the robot itself. Not much really. No height or anything, but maybe fandom will say. Here are the other robots in the or on a option part set you can get in this wave. So I'd never even seen or heard about Tytania before, but let's look at fandom here. So fandom says it's from the Universal Century timeline, which is the main timeline, and it appears in SD Gundam G generation, so super deformed Gundams in video games, not an actual animation. Interesting to note here is that it developed from the Pallas Athene, or Athene, and the O, and Paptimus Shirako from, I guess, Gundam Zeta was the pilot or something. Here's the blurb about it. And then it also was the second robot to use remote-controlled funnels, the Cubely being the first. Alright, only being in video games, there isn't too much resource material to look at or compare to, but there you go. This gum, by the way, will last about 10 seconds, but it does taste pretty good. Be careful cutting these bags. You can easily cut through a part. And also check the bags. Very often I actually miss a part coming out of here. Maybe it's because I'm doing a video. So that one's good. It looks like the majority of the robots are already put together. Yeah, you don't want to cut those little things off. So it's definitely a plus size Converge, that's for sure. Still has the standard size foot peg thing. I'm going to take it apart so we can put it back together and see the details behind whatnot. No, everything else looks glued except for the head that comes off. Alright, bottom of the feet details, pretty good, standard stuff I guess. You get a hex hole for the peg on the stand. And it's a matte purple, but very light purple. Whereas obviously that's a more normal purple. That's also matte. I do like the venting in here. It's a really interesting design. It's very clean. Alright. It's got this funky ankle. It's like a half dome with these vents and that little thing. Ooh, this is nice. You got some venting in the bottom of the skirt here. Maybe these are thrusters. They are recessed. Like there's a little ridge here. You could probably add some paint there. Got some divots or slots, I guess you would call those. But the back of the leg is very plain. It's just a big expanse of nothing. I feel that could have been better. This is also kind of plain. Yeah, that's okay. Something's gonna go here, I'm guessing. So now we got some ridging here in the torso. I don't know if those are tubes or what. They kind of just end to flat surfaces. Kind of weird. And then maybe this is the hatch, if I had to guess. Alright, well, let's start putting this thing together. So, a lot of parts here. Well, it looks like this goes on the back. It's got some ridges here, some purple, and then some nice gunmetal for what I assume are thrusters. Maybe I should put the head on first, because that thing's tall. Bottom of the head has some ridge details, venting or whatnot, and a gunmetal neck, and gunmetal and a silver, a metallic pink mono eye, but that's not going to move. Some hose details there. Alright, so interesting, the head swoops back so far. And there must be a top of the head based on that image. Alright, so you got this little antenna thing. But I think I'm still missing something. Oh, no, that just goes right onto this mono eye part. That is not a very long tab. I would recommend you glue that. I feel it's going to work loose. Alright, a little detail there. Alright, so now I think I can put this backpack on. Well, that's definitely a tight fit. You can just hear it. That probably won't need to be glued, but now you really can't move the head much because it's trapped now by these little things. Even though it's a round peg, you're not going to move the head at all. Well, this is cool. I didn't notice that. It's got like a metallic pink or something in there. And then it's a little metallic silver smile or something. Interesting, like a grin. That movie Smile, that horror movie, that's what that reminds me of. Alright, that's not important. So here we have the right arm, big hex. And they're different sized pegs, it looks like. I'm not sure why they do that. I mean, if someone can't figure out that's the left arm, seeing how it actually has, I mean, this is the right arm with the right hand on it. Anywho, decent tight fit. Some metallic elbows and shoulders. Nice purple. Oh, those are cool thrusters. I like how they have their little ridging around the perimeter. And then, I don't know if something goes here, but there's like ridges. Interesting. And then maybe little thrusters here. Maybe this is where the funnels come out. Or maybe they come out of these. I haven't played the video game, so I don't know. Alright, well, those are very big pegs, so they're not going to shear off at all. And this is just a closed fist. Nothing's going to go in there. I believe you're supposed to have some robotic arms come out of here for beam sabers or something like that. But not on this particular toy, of course. And then what do we have here? Yep, maybe this. Something goes on the... Oh, this is really weird. This goes on the front. That's why those things come to a flat. So this pegs downwards, and the bottom of it has no detail, which I think is kind of lame. I think they could have easily molded something in there. Alright, let's get this on. It's a really strange angle, or... I don't know, I'm just not used to putting things like this. That's really weird. It like has a rear skirt, but in the front, right? Or you can make a joke, thrusting out something here. It's really strange. Okay, so I guess this one goes in the back then. Now see, this has tons of detail on the bottom. Why couldn't they have some of that on there? Interesting. Strange decisions. Oh, I think you're going to have to put this in before the backpack. Well, I guess that's good that it gets trapped in there. Although I'm having a hard time getting it in there in the first place. I feel like it's got to get past that gunmetal thing. Yeah, alright. So you gotta just jam it past there, and then the backpack will trap that. So that's nice that that won't fall apart. Although they're all so tight. Alright, well, minus this weird thing, it's a pretty funky robot. I like it. It's definitely different. The closest thing it looks like is like a... Well, let's pull out those other robots. But before that, we got this funky weapon. Unfortunately, there's no barrel detail. Does this come apart to get around the hand? Probably. Something's wiggling. I don't know if I'm pulling it there. Oh, I think it comes out the side. You gotta pull it sideways. Interesting. Alright, well, with only one hand to hold the weapon, it's gotta go here. Boy, that thing's tight. Let me take the hand off and try this. That is not gonna go in. So that's weird. That hole... Oh, okay, maybe there's some extra plastic flash or something in there blocking it. So now, pop this back on from the outside. Alright, that looks good. Unfortunately, the hand is not a different color than the gun. I would have much rather had the gun just be black, so it has more contrast. And pleasantly, they make it clear, this forearm, like perfectly, so well done. Doesn't really want to articulate upwards, though. We're just holding this back. Oh, it actually rests in this cavity, this whole rectangular thing. So it sits flush in there. If you want the arm to go up, you're gonna have to literally pull it out like that. Yeah, but then you see this giant peg there, so that doesn't lend itself well to posing. You're kind of just forced to have it in this position since there is no forearm movement. You know, you don't even need the stand. The thing is such a big feat. But I like to use the stands because I label them, because I'm not going to remember what this robot is later. This thing barely fits on that stand. Alright, let's look at some related ones. So the Cubely was the first one to have, I guess, funnels. This is number 168, this white version. So you can see that's a standard size Converge, and it is significantly smaller. So it actually makes sense why this is called a plus. We do have a couple other pluses. Number plus07 is the O, which is a descendant of this. I'm going to put this to the side so we can see what likeness is. The other descendant is the Pallas Athene, number plus12. So now let's let these things go about. So you got these two verticals here from this on that one. You got the giant tail thing. This one doesn't show the remote beam sabers like the O. The guns are almost identical, if not identical, between those two. And then you got this like big mono pointed head, which is similar to the O. You got these little, vertical claw-looking things, which are on the Pallas Athene, just in the other direction. So there's actually quite a lot of... Let me just stop this, it'll be easier. There's actually quite a lot of similarities between the two. It's like these two, had a fun night out in a hotel, and that's what came about. Alright, well, they're all plus sizes for sure, because little Cubely looks kind of small. Let that go for one other spin. So all in all, I think I'm pretty satisfied. It's definitely worthy of being called a plus series figure, and it's a very unique figure. Design-wise, it's quite unique, but actual model or figurine effort-wise, it seems to be lacking. It doesn't have as many paint apps as the other two, right? These have much more color variations going on. Like, I feel like they could have colored maybe those balls or something. I'm not sure, but it could have been better. I guess they're kind of cheaping out. Oh well, I'll still collect Converge, so we'll see you in the next video. Bye.